Good morning, everyone. Andrea Bayabai here. I'm so glad that you could join me today. I just want to invite you to contemplate what is the biggest challenge that you're experiencing right now, the reason why you're coming to human design. There's a lot of different reasons for experimenting and for diving into this, and we want to make sure that it's in alignment with what's really right for you. So I'm going to start with a couple of really common questions that I get, lot of common questions that I get with human design, and allow you guys to add your questions as well so that we get a good basis for starting off this next Living Your Design experience. So what you want to take a look at when you're entering into design is this right for you? So did it come to you through your strategy and authority? If you don't know what that is, that's what we're going to cover in the entire Living Your Design experience. We're going to dive into what that means exactly for you using your chart. So what a Living Your Design experience is, it's basically like taking the overview or foundation reading you might have already had and extending it over a period of time that allows you to integrate the knowledge into your life. So my personal Living Your Design experience incorporates assignments. They're not required. All they are there for is for your awareness, your awakening. So every time we go over a different function or center in the body graph, those geometric shapes inside of the body graph, if you're with me here, you probably know what those are, but for those of you who are absolutely new, here's a body graph, and these are the shapes, these are the centers. So in Living Your Design, we dive into what do these centers mean, and why should you care, and why it's important. It all goes back to why should you follow your strategy and authority. So those centers that are colored in or not in your body graph, that is what determines your auric type, your energy type, your awareness type. It allows us to see what are the energetics of how you're here to interact with other people. What are you here for? What are you broadcasting? What are you aligned to in this life? I had a friend that I've been doing a lot of work with over the years, about 5 years of having this person as a friend and a client, who's called me for advice when he's had any big kind of business decisions. And what he said to me this morning was, you know what I'd really like from you? I'd like a little card that says what I'm here to look for, like kind of like my own personal body graph resume. And I'm like, that's actually a really good idea. What if you knew exactly what you were here for? What if you could reference it and say, oh yeah, I'm supposed to see that. Oh yeah, this is where I fulfill my purpose. So that's one of the things that we cover in Living Your Design, is helping you understand what you're here for. The more that you know your own personal design, the brilliant, amazing uniqueness that you are, the more that you're aligned with that, you recognize that, you attune to it, you allow yourself to embody the physical being that you're here to be for others and for yourself, the better your life experience is going to be. So the way that we use human design, or personally I use human design, is I use it full time in my human design practice. I teach, I train, I do a lot of these kinds of things with you, and I do one-on-one coaching. So my experience with the system is actually putting it into practical use. So that's what I've reframed that whole Living Your Design experience with, that idea of having everything come down to the practical. How can you use this in your life? So the best experience that you're going to get out of this with me is if you commit fully. I do not want you to start this just out of curiosity. I would like you to start this if you're really ready to fully commit to yourself, because I like to empower other people. I want to see your transformation, and I want you to be set up for success. So that's one of the things, is to set aside a certain amount of time per week for these classes. So any questions on anything I've covered so far, I'm just going to go into the chat and see if there's anything that you guys have. Oh, the card idea, you like that, Daria? Yeah, me too. I thought it was really cool. I think it would be nice to be able to just print those off and say, hey, look, this is you. Remember this? This is you, your little wallet card of who you are. Not that a wallet card can really encompass the totality of the beauty that you are, the uniqueness, but it's nice to have these little crutches or these little frameworks or these little, ideas. One of the ideas that I personally like to share with others is particularly for somebody who's emotional, is what if you knew you had all the time that you needed to make a decision, a clear decision. So one of the things that I give them is, why don't you put up some Post-it notes? This worked really well for me in the beginning. Post-it notes about your authority, getting you in touch with your authority, reminding yourself that this is not the past, this is the now, and now you are empowered with the most accurate, amazing, profound, deepest system, and experimenting with to see whether or not it works for you. Not everybody is going to be interested in this kind of level of profound transformation or self-exploration, or getting themselves up to a different level of reality or experience. Most people are content to stay asleep. If you're listening to me right now, you're not one of those people. So I'm really happy that you're here, and I honor each and every one of you for giving me some time today to connect with you. So what does it mean? Do you know what it means to live your design? Not the term living your design. No, not this. This book right here, this is the teacher's manual, but this is the book we're going to invite you to get if you move into this experience. There's the Living Your Design, a manual for cellular transformation. It's a student manual written by Linda Bonnell. It's available on the Human Design America site, or there's also all around the world different people that have license the information. You can possibly buy it from them and see what's the closest place to you is. You go to jovianarchive.com and you find the nearest licensed national distributor of the information. So when you're living your design, what it really means is that there's no outside authority other than yourself. So many people come to me who are looking for someone else to provide them the answers. They're saying, what should I do? You tell me what I should do in this situation, advise me or guide me. And, that's all well and good to a certain extent. Once we empower you with how to live your design, it no longer becomes you going outside of yourself for answers. There's a few people who have the kind of design that they actually need to hear themselves speak with others. But besides that, besides needing that kind of, sounding board, we call it, everyone else has their own process of authority. So what it means for you to live your design is going to be completely different from every single other person out there. No one has the exact same design that you do. No one, absolutely no one, but we can give you signposts. We can show you whether you're on track or off track. When we go through this Living Your Design experience, we're going to dive into what is the healthy and unhealthy expression of these centers. How can you know whether you've made the right choice or not? How can you experiment whether how to use your design to make choices that you trust? So what living your design means, what it means to live your design is you no longer place outside authorities above yourself. And I know that when I first came to human design, that was a big, big challenge that I had personally. I was not able to allow myself to make complete, clear decisions over time. I was spontaneous and I was doing everything I could to prove myself to somebody else. So abdicating my authority to someone else rather than taking responsibility for who I was and what I really wanted, doing things for me. And this is one of the things that I do for me, even though it looks like, yes, I'm being generous and sharing a lot of my videos and my time with people. I'm doing this for me because I love to see people empowered. I'm a teacher. It's one of the things that is in my design. If I were to look at my little design, my wallet card, it would say, oh, you're a teacher. You're an unconscious teacher. That's what you do. That's how you ground your earth in this plane of reality. So being able to trust who you are, that's what living your design means. It's a process of awakening that begins this cellular transformation deep within your body. So if you know anything about the human body or just cycles of experience, we all go through 7-year cycles where there's this time frame that we have a cellular renewal of all of our cells, with the exception of, I think, a couple of liver cells. Everything is completely renewed within 7 years. So this process, whether or not you do something, with human design right now, or you don't, In 7 years from now, you will be a completely, totally, utterly different cellularly being. You will be exposed to different things, different concepts, different ideas, different experiences that change the way that you see the world. So why not try something that has actually been proven empirically, that's the word, it's been proven in people's lives to work for them. Otherwise, we would not see the massive spread of human design, all the books that are out there, all the teachers that have taken it and maybe morphed it into something else or decided to teach it on their own. All of these people that are actually doing this work. We do this work because we see the profound shift. So the profound shift only comes if you are in alignment with you. And the way we start to get you into alignment with you, your authentic self, is we give you a strategy. Strategy just allows you to see when is the correct time for you to make a decision. And then authority is the how. How are you here to make that decision? What's your process, or where is it physically in your body, or how does it come into your experience? What is the path to getting there, to that decision that's right for you? When you make decisions that are right for your body, and the reason why you can't do it with mind is because our minds are only cognizant or aware of approximately a third of who we are. Our minds, if you look at your body graph right now, on the right-hand side, as you're looking at your body graph, it's in black. There's numbers in black, and that's your conscious personality. So a third of who you are, what you're resonating to, or what you're recognizing as you're only aware of that third. And the other part, the reason why human design is so different from so many other systems that are out there is because we have another calculation. We have the unconscious. It's in red. It's like tunnels underneath the surface of your awareness. It is not something that you're consciously aware of. When it pops out, it's something that you're surprised by. It's going on underneath your awareness. So you are not aware of a third of who you are, this other third. Now, the two parts, the binary that is us, we are not individually that. It's just that there's only part of it that we're conscious of. What we are a totality, the microcosm within the macrocosm. We are all one thing. But we see this illusion as separateness, and that's where all the suffering comes from. When you see yourself as separate from the other, that is the only reason you would ever hurt somebody. I mean, if you knew the oneness and the beauty and the love of self, and you understood that we are a totality, you would never have these experiences of mass confusion and suffering when in relationship with the other. If you knew that there was choicelessness in the fact that we cannot erase any lines within the body graph, we cannot change anything that you have been imprinted with. You were born that way. You're here to live that, not to be changed by another, but to live the full expression of yourself. Or if you're in a relationship that is challenging, that is offering you some kind of pain or suffering, to just know that it's not the other person's fault. It's not your fault. What it is an incompatibility. What it is simply mechanics. And you just need to allow and surrender to those mechanics because you cannot change it. So one of the biggest benefits that I've had from human design is the improvement of my relationships with others, the increasing ability for me to see that they are not able to change anything about what their design is, that there's more compassion in my life. And so for you, I would want to invite you, would you like to have that kind of compassion, not only for the other, but particularly for yourself? Because to love yourself first is the primary, utmost, most important thing in this planet that you could ever do for yourself or another. And how do you love yourself? How do you do that? You know who you are, or even if you're not necessarily here to know exactly who you are as a projector. Hi, I'm one of these people who's here to know another. But if I can just see who I am for the other and surrender to that, allow myself to be that, that's all that life asks of me. It's not about me trying to change or fix anything for anybody else, but rather attempting to express the experience of what it's like to actually truly love yourself without anything that you feel like there's wrong or bad or amiss, because it's all perfect, exactly as you are, exactly where you're at right now. So this program that we're going to be doing, this Living Your Design experiment, is there to support and help you be successful in your experiment. It is the only class that we have in the human design system that is for everyone, anyone that wants to come to the knowledge and see what it's about and commit to their experiment. You know, it takes not very much energy to go onto a website, put in your data and go, oh, this is my information. That's interesting. That's me. Wow. And you might walk off and do something else. You don't really have a lot of potential for transformation if you don't put in some effort as far as getting to know who you are. And that's what this Living Your Design experience is. The awakening experience is for you to select the guide that's right for you. I might not be that person. You might align with someone who is more your style. You know, you can hear them better. You like the way that they speak, or you like the way that they talk, teach, you know. So it does come down to, is this person who you're listening to right for me? And how you can tell is, are you resonating with what they say? Are you paying attention to what they say? Is it easy for you to grasp what they're talking about? So I want to invite you to align with your strategy and authority as far as deciding which one of those people. There are hundreds of us out there in all different languages all around the world. So please do pick the person that's right for you. Now, that being said, this is one of those classes that you can take over and over and over again, getting into a deeper and deeper and deeper level of understanding who you are and how this works, particularly if you're a projector, seeing how other people teach and listening to those people who are in your class with you, their experiences, their awakenings, their recognitions, or their aha moments. That can be really, really profound and interesting. I've done it many times with lots of different instructors, and every single time it was a different experience because I was different. I was at a different place in my life. So for those of you who have heard my teaching before, or you're just curious about how I've evolved over the years of teaching this, you are more than welcome to come into and audit this program for 70% off the regular price. So for those of you who are new, if this is something that you want to do, it's $350 for the entire experience, which is over a period of a little over 2 months. And that is going to be one weekly class. So today, right now, we started at 10 o'clock Pacific, my time. And that's what it's going to be for the following 8 Mondays. So 8 more classes beyond this one, so that you can be supported and successful in your human design experiment. So how do you begin experimenting?